What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Lyceum podcast. Today, I'm about to read to you the California Department of Health guidelines for the holidays for all you out there who still lives in that state. So you have first, attendance. Gatherings that include more than 3 households are prohibited. Then you have when you are gathering.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, dude, what are we talking about today?
Oh, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, could you just tee us up?
Oh, okay.
It's
yeah.
because
Then we're
yeah,
gonna
just tee us up. Just tee us up a little bit.
yeah. Okay. So we're gonna be talking about California's new not guidelines. They're now mandatory laws that you have to follow because they were obviously mandated by your governor. Then we're gonna talk about some rappers who've come over to the dark side, mainly 50 Cent and Ice Cube. They've made a grand revelation about who they should be voting for during the whole election. And then finally, I don't really know what we're talking about. We're kind of just freelancing once again, right?
Cool. That sounds good.
Yeah. But yeah, you heard that first one, right, Andrew? More than 3,
Yeah.
no more than 3 households are allowed to gather. And
I did hear that.
when they gather, you have to be 6 feet apart from each person has to be 6 feet apart from each other. So imagine.
When does this take effect?
Oh, it's already in effect. That was issued out.
Oh.
I'm on the California Department of Public Health website right now. That was issued out October 9th, 2020. So this was 10 days ago, actually, that this popped up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting guidelines.
Do you think anybody's going to follow these?
No.
I think some people might. Nah, honestly, actually, I don't. Some people will. Some people will.
I know some
But I don't think
tryhards.
most people will.
I know some tryhards who will. I commend them for it. But dude, I feel so bad for people. Imagine Christmas, you're unwrapping presents and you like look at somebody across the room, you're like, "Hey, here's what I got you." And you have to like peg them with it because you're standing 6 feet away. You have to throw it at them.
All right, well, I got a question then for you guys.
Okay.
You guys don't agree, or you guys don't agree with the guidelines, I'm assuming.
No.
No.
Okay. Where are you guys at with the virus?
I mean, I think it's everywhere already, dude. I think it's remember I think it was the first episode I asked you, do you think it's here already among us? And you said no. Do you think it's here among us now? Like, do you think we've all interacted with it yet?
I think many of us have, but I don't think everybody has yet. But I think a huge portion of the population has.
What about us? Us 3 right here.
Have we interacted with it?
I think you have, Andrew, for sure.
I think I had it, bro. I think I had it.
You think you had COVID-19 already?
I think I did.
Oh, then I definitely interacted with it then because I hung out with you a bunch of times. So I conquered it already.
Yeah. Back in March, I got sick. I hit up. I did like some telehealth stuff, talked to some people, and they were just like, well, right now, you really, like, I had a fever.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some crazy diarrhea, like real bad. And I haven't had a fever in probably like 10 years. When I get sick, I don't get a fever. My fever lasted, I don't know, 12 hours. And then I was just chilling. But yeah, I talked to like healthcare and they said, you know what, for people that are showing symptoms at the level you are, very minimal, we're just asking them to self-quarantine, 14 days self-quarantine, and then if symptoms are gone, you're good, you know? So my symptoms were, like I said, super minimal. But because I haven't had a fever in so long, it hit me like pretty good for that little window. Like, but after that, I was fine. So
Oh, so you
I think I
conquered it
did
like
have it at
Trump.
that point.
You conquered it like Trump did in 2 days. That's tight. Good job, Andrew.
I mean, I didn't get tested or anything, but
Uh,
they told me that was early on too when they were like, "Yeah, you don't even go in to get tested. Like, we don't even have enough tests for people like you." I was like, "Oh,
Dang.
all right."
It's like that. How do you feel about that, Zach? Trump conquering COVID in like 2 days, or are you still on the train that he never even had it?
That was fast, dude. I don't know. It was fast.
Well, I think one thing that we've seen with a lot of people is that their symptoms are mild. Like again, I think I had it. I don't know for sure because I never got tested. But if I did have it, I mean, they were super mild symptoms. Like I had a little cough for a few days leading up to some pretty bad diarrhea that lasted for like, I don't know, maybe 8 hours, and then a fever that lasted 12 hours. And the fever never went over 102. And literally, like, I mean, I was taking a bunch of stuff at home, you know. Wife hooked me up with everything, like just a bunch of bone broth, zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D, some vitamin Bs. And I know, like, they say that you shouldn't take, or some people say you shouldn't take elderberry if you have COVID, but I was taking elderberry. I took Umka. I was just hammering it with, like, natural,
Witchcraft stuff.
good, natural, freaking good stuff. I was nebulizing some colloidal silver, and dude, I was good. Like I was tired, pretty much like you would get tired if you had a cold or a flu, but I self quarantined because it was early on. We didn't know what it was like. I mean, my wife and the kids weren't even coming in. Like she was dropping stuff off in the room. I was taking it, and then I was chilling. So the rest helped me too. But if I did have it, it was really mild.
Okay. I don't
So
think
you never got anything?
No.
No. Zach Andrew's kids are like freaking super beings. If you just think about how like Andrew is built, and then you look at, man, I don't want to say their last names, but you know what family he married into, or they married into his family because it's the woman marrying him. They're super people. They're probably never gonna get sick, and if they do, they're just gonna like, and then they're good to go. But I never get sick, man. And when I do, it does get really bad. But I never got really sick this season, this whole year. Knock on wood. And I feel like if I've been among people like you who have gotten sick, or people, or I did a lot of traveling. Obviously, I moved, so I traveled around. I feel like I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not gonna get anything, and I was looking at the CDC website, and they were like, anybody below the age of 70, there was a mortality rate of like 0.05%. And I was like, what are we doing right now? And then Europe is going back into lockdown, and I'm just over this whole thing. And I'm glad I kind of miss California for my people, but I'm generally glad I'm out of California. How do you feel about staying in California, Zach, right now?
I mean, nothing
Zach.
is, what's different for you right now?
Job.
No, what's different from you moving out to California? Like, if you had your job here,
If
what's
I
different?
if I had a job there,
What's different for you right now?
what's different? Let's see here. I like guns a lot. I've been able to shoot a lot more guns that were not available to
Bro,
me
with
out there.
COVID, with the rules and regulations.
Oh, for COVID, the rules and regulations? Oh,
You just
people out here
said,
really
what's it
don't
like
care.
staying in California right now?
People don't care out here. They don't care at all. There's zero.
So no one wears masks?
No, they wear masks, but they do
That's
it
pretty much
inside
the
of the.
only thing that's going on right now.
All right, I'll jump in. So California, like Pedro said, is introducing these new regulations. They're introducing their new regulations, right? And 3 households can gather at a time, limited number of people. They're limiting it to a certain time frame. I believe they said the gatherings can't be over 2 hours.
Yeah, I got
now,
it right
the
here.
one thing that we've seen that's really interesting is like you got the federal government that releases their guidelines. The states don't necessarily have to follow the federal guidelines. The states create their own. And then the states create their guidelines, and then the counties will create their own. So it's crazy. Like, government's very fragmented is what we're seeing right now, and there is a lot of autonomy within government entities. So that's the way the United States was designed, though, so that there's not too much centralized power for like authoritarian type stuff to take place. But with that in mind, though, if people in the state and if the counties all follow the state's guidelines, and if people actually do follow that, it limits, like you think about it, we're coming into the holiday season, which is why I think they did this, because they don't want families to be hanging out for Thanksgiving and Christmas and spreading the virus is what they're probably thinking. So if Californians do follow these guidelines, it drastically changes interactions. But in Texas, it was way different out there. People still did wear masks, but I think when we came back here after visiting out there for a few weeks, it was 75% open, the economy and just the way that they functioned. So you were able to dine indoors at any restaurant. You were able to do everything like pretty much normal, but just wearing a mask. Whereas here, the guidelines and the rules that they're implementing don't allow life to go back to normal, you know?
Yeah.
So I think
And I
that's the
feel-
difference between the states. Because it's interesting, like we're all dealing with the same virus, but the way each state and country, even if we get down to within our country, the counties and the cities are dealing with it is different. So you could be in California and it's handled one way, and then you go out of state and it's handled in a completely different way. So it's kind of crazy because we are dealing with the same virus, just different approaches to how it's dealt with.
Well, and then I would make the difference. Some states are actually making guidelines and recommendations. Other states are implementing mandates and laws. And then the federal government, I think, would just be on the side of right now implementing guidelines or suggestions. Because like you said, no one's actually like bringing down the sword anywhere and making people do stuff.
Right, and you got to be careful too of what's like just rumors and what's actually being applied by the state, because there was I just saw something on social media that was posted from the city that we live in. They were saying that the police department is going to be giving out tickets on Halloween for people trick-or-treating, but the police
No.
department put out tonight saying that that was just a rumor and they're not going to be handing out any tickets or any kind of citations whatsoever for people doing whatever on Halloween.
So that's crazy because you've got the city, right? The official city social media account saying they're going to be handing out tickets. But
Yeah.
then you have that was the city's account that you saw that on, Zach?
Saying they're not going.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that the city posted that they are going to be handing out citations.
No,
Well,
it was a rumor.
well,
They
no.
said that it was a rumor, and they're not going to be.
Well, no. Do you know Florida? There's this famous sheriff in Florida, Polk County, who always goes on like YouTube and he'll like give you like certain big cases that they've been dealing with. And when COVID like popped off, and city officials were coming out and saying they were going to start handing out citations, the sheriff of Polk County was like, "No, don't fill my phone lines with people calling me about not wearing masks. That's not our job. We're not the mask police. We're here to catch criminals. I have detectives on serious things, and they need my police officers to help them when available. I'm not sending anybody out for masks. If they want to do something about that, you can create another mass police for that, but we're not handling that." So I don't. Where did it? Where's the one you said that was fake, Zach? Where was that?
In my city.
So it's just a rumor that, like, I guess somebody started.
Oh, okay.
But what's interesting is, I mean, similar to, like, in Southern California, the state had mandates and laws that said you would be fined for going out without a mask, and different counties handled it differently. And then you've got the sheriffs within the counties that basically are the ones who are it's up to them to enforce the law or not. And some counties, I think, did uphold those laws and probably were given citations. But I know in Riverside County, the sheriff Bianco was like the guy you reference out in Florida. He was like, "No, I'm not going to be giving people tickets, for not wearing their mask. I'm not going to try to stop a mother from providing for her family if she needs to provide for her family." Like, he went on this big thing. He was holding it down for the residents, basically looking out for the residents and saying, like, "I'm not going to do that because we got bigger things to worry about than giving citations to people who aren't wearing masks."
Sounds like somebody.
This was
knows,
early on in the pandemic.
Sounds like someone actually knows what oath they took and what they're supposed to uphold as in terms of laws. It's nice. Nice not to see another robot walking around. Then let's move on to Ice Cube. Did you guys hear Ice Cube's little YouTube video?
I didn't. I heard about it, but I didn't watch it, though.
Oh, he sold out, bro. He sold out. is what the streets are saying. This dude was like he was like chilling on a porch or something. He was in a dark setting, but he was just looking at the camera and saying, "Yeah, these Democrats, they like think that they just own the black vote outright, and they're saying crazy things like, if we don't vote their way, then we're not black." And I was like, "Oh, I'm not having that. Nah." And then I'm over here with the Republicans, and they put $500 billion for black businesses on the table. And he didn't say he's voting for Trump, but he just said, he's like, "I think something else is going to have to take place here." And then 50 Cent came out on Twitter. Dude, everybody's like, nah. Dude, 50 Cent realized that if he voted Joe Biden in, if those taxes that he came out, those new taxes, that 64% stuff, 50 Cent realized he might actually be worth only 50 Cent. If all this is coming into order, he took note in his mind like, I don't think I want this in my life.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. The businessmen are going to vote for the businessmen. Did you hear that, Pedro? Sorry. I said
No.
businessmen are going to vote for the businessmen.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I don't think why. I mean, that's going to trickle down to everybody. If they were to take power, I don't think it's just the upper class people whose taxes change. I think everybody's taxes change for the worst. I've never heard somebody say they wanted more taxes. Or why would you want more taxes? Does anybody know an answer to that? Why would you want more taxes?
I mean, at a certain level, taxes are going to pay for public services, for law enforcement, things like that. So there has to be, I mean, for those services to be provided, there's got to be some level of taxes. But I don't think people are like, tax me like California taxes me.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh dude, that was the beautiful part, bro. I went to a gas pump. Guess how much gas was? Just guess.
230.
Lower. Go down.
Out.
Bro. Okay,
Or
I gotta
in
bleep
Arizona.
that out. Arizona. I'll bleep that
How
out.
much?
Don't worry. Oh, 154.
Whoa, dang.
$1.54, brother. I should have kept the receipts so I could show the cameras. But dude, that's a beautiful thing. And then I think I've already hit, like my brother, I don't want to say it, I don't want to give away where he lives, but he's actually sent me even lower than that. And well, I can't say again. But yeah, California's the only place where they're just going mad on prices for some reason. I feel like California is for like rich people and rich people only.
Maybe they're trying to weed us out.
Zach said they're really trying to weed us out. Yeah, I mean, you got to pay for that sunshine tax, you know?
What's the sunshine tax?
Just the general taxes to live in SoCal, man.
Oh, the weather.
Or
weather,
California in general.
Yeah. I will miss that, man. Never having to switch over to snow tires. You don't have to shovel your driveway. What else do you have to deal with? Random tornadoes.
Man, if you live in a cold weather state, you got to do a lot of stuff. I'm not about that.
Oh, like re-roofing, huh? Because you can go through so many snow seasons without re-roofing.
Weatherizing your pipes. Shoveling snow off your roof so it doesn't collapse. Making sure your gutters don't get too heavy and break off. Shoveling your driveway. Bro, I got a lot of coworkers in cold weather states on the East Coast, and it sounds terrible. But that doesn't mean... Yeah, California is amazing. I love California.
If I
I
won
mean, I would say it's the best place to live. It's got everything you could want. The food is amazing. Being in Southern California, you can there's so many things to do. Outdoors, entertainment, theme parks. Like if you like to go to concerts or whatever, there's an unlimited number of things to do. And I don't think you can go anywhere else and experience as many things as you can in California, like the diversity, right? If you're in Southern California, you could literally go surfing and snowboarding in the same day if you wanted to. You could go to a Lakers game and go to a concert. You can do everything here. The food, I think the food here is the best. But those are all the positive things. I mean, then you got a lot of drawbacks, like highest taxes. So you're paying for that stuff, you know? The laws are really strict on the citizens. If you're not a liberal, then you probably don't like the laws in California because they are hyper liberal. And they're getting worse or further left, whatever your political stance is. If they're getting further left, maybe that's good for you. But if you're not super far left, then it's not getting good for you. So I think all those drawbacks are significant drawbacks.
he didn't
Highest
even
priced on everything. I mean, when they do analysis on the most expensive places to live, I think the last one that I read, California was the highest, even more expensive than Hawaii. When you factor in everything cost of living, down to the tangible goods like milk, gas, childcare, all those things. housing, utilities, like it all adds up. California's the most expensive place to live.
Is Hawaii expensive?
Hawaii's crazy expensive.
And he's not even talking about the gun laws, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I don't know. I'm a big, like, I like it for the sporting of fun and just target shooting and some long range shooting. And being where I am now, like, one weapon that I really like is the P365. It's so cool. 6 Hour, you did a very good job in constructing that piece of metal. What's up?
Hold on. How is Hawaii expensive? Like, what do people do to live there? Because every person that I've ever seen that lives in Hawaii is chilling all day. And I don't mean like in a hammock, but I kind of do. Because I have a few friends on social media that live in Hawaii, and they are not grinding.
I don't know what they do.
Dude.
Well, you got to think about it, too. They probably have deep family ties there. I feel like the Hawaiian community very much sticks together. So they have a lot of probably like family businesses going there. And they have like an insulated economy where to the point where it's like, yeah, we're taking care of one another. And I don't know what the homeless rate is like out there, but I hear stories like people just smoking all day, surfing all day, and only working like for half the day and still making meat and still being able to provide for their family and just live. So I think it's just
the other thing too is like everything has to be well, not everything, but the majority of goods have to be imported onto the island, and to get stuff over there is expensive, so that drives up like the prices. But I think the different islands will have different costs of living. But for sure, I'm not great with the Hawaiian Islands. Honolulu is a city, but whatever island that city's on is like crazy expensive to live in.
I was gonna say that's the nice one, right?
Yeah,
that's like the nicest one.
So Honolulu on the island of Oahu. So
is that
mainland? One is like crazy. No, I don't think I think they call the big island is Hawaii, I think, and the island with Honolulu on it is Oahu, and that one is like, dude, super expensive.
Would you own your own island if you could?
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I guess
I would not. I don't want that much to take care of. That's like too much to handle, in my opinion.
If you have
what
that
do you
much
have to take care of, it's an island.
But if you have that much money, you'd have people to take care of it for you.
You wouldn't have to take care of anything.
No. I'm just imagining something weird going down on the island, and since it's my island,
like
everybody's going
Park?
to blame me. What's up?
So like Jurassic Park?
No, not Jurassic Park. More like Epstein Park.
Wait,
I would not want that.
Hold on.
That stuff didn't just happen.
Well, no, I'm not saying it.
Why would your island all of a sudden become like Epstein Island?
I don't know.
That was a culture that he created, bro. Like that.
Well, I don't know. See, that's the thing. You're going to be creating a culture, setting a tone. You're going to have to make some certain... It's the islands for something. Like, for me,
You just said an island. You didn't say, like, a population.
Well, people are going
Like
to
your
come
own
to the
little
island,
country.
right? I'm not going to be on the island by myself.
You didn't say that. You said if you could own an island, would you?
Yeah, so I'm thinking private island. You and the homies.
Wait. Yes, I just thought about it. Yes, okay, I would own an island, and I would just put big game on it.
Oh man,
I would just put big game on it and go hunting like every year after it's like fostered.
so many
That's good.
things that you could do, and That's the only thing you said you would do with it is put big game on it. I just real quick, I was looking for this tweet for a while because I thought it was awesome. I saw it on some Instagram account reposted it the other day, but Ice Cube said, "When I got bused to school, homies called me a sellout. When I started rapping in 1983, bangers called me a sellout. When I left NWA, they called me a sellout. When I start doing movies, rappers call me a sellout. When I started my own league, the arena said it was a sellout." And then the laugh cry emoji, I was like, dang, that's dope, dude. He's selling out arenas, selling
Dude.
tickets.
People don't like change. People don't like success unless it's happening to them.
Haters are real, man. But
Bunch of
I don't
hate.
think it's surprising that you got people like Ice Cube. And so I know, sorry, we went from Island back to Ice Cube and 50 Cent, but
That's cool.
I really don't think it's surprising that you got rich people that want the guy that's going to tax them less. I mean, the new proposed taxes are going to be up in the 60% for anybody who makes over $400,000. Like, I did see that.
Hey, Pedro.
Yeah, I just
You
saw it
saw
on your
that?
phone. I just saw it on your phone. What in the world? What is?
Hey, we're
Yeah,
gonna
hey, show the camera real
we're,
quick, Zach.
we're gonna have to post that. We'll post it on the Instagram. We got 50 Cent's face on Donald Trump's head.
It's
and
awesome.
It's funny.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
but 50's getting so much heat. Like, people were just, hey, bro, how could you do that? How could you vote for the racist if, just because he's going to help you keep some money in your pockets?
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, first of all, there's a lot in there anyways.
I mean, honestly, he's gonna put money back in everybody's pockets. It's not just the rich.
Okay, real quick. With the Trump tax laws, did you guys get a better tax return?
Well, no. But that's because
Yeah,
I was
me
in
either.
college. I was in college during the
No,
bulk of
it's
it.
because it honestly didn't benefit the middle class. Like, there's no more, like, you own a home, there's no more deduction for owning a home, really. Like, it's trash. You pretty much, like, I went to a standard deduction, even though I had been doing itemized deductions for years, but the standardized was, I mean, I'm not complaining, the standardized was cool, but, or the standard deductions was cool, but I didn't get a better tax return or anything like that.
What did I get?
And I don't think you did either, Pedro. And I don't think it had
No,
anything to
no.
do with you being in school.
No, well, I was.
Zach,
what
what
was I
about you?
doing? I'm just thinking about what I was doing. It was like Uber, Lyft, medical assistant. I mean, I'm not trying to knock anybody who's still in those games, but I just wasn't making that much money for it to count for anything. I was making like 30, 28 a year.
Okay, so it didn't benefit you in the lower levels. It didn't benefit me at all. Zach, did it benefit you?
Plead the fifth.
Yeah. Zach don't want to answer, bro, because the answer is no. I mean, yeah, it didn't really help the majority of people, I don't think. But I do know if you're trying to tax people crazy, like in the 60% that are wealthy, that's super high. Crazy high. And I don't know, but even if I was making over 400, I wouldn't be trying to get taxed 62.5% if I lived in California.
Nope.
So that's why Joe Rogan moved his podcast out of state, He just signed a massive deal with Spotify, and he's like, yeah, I ain't about to get reamed on my taxes. I'm out.
Well, Spotify's already trying to take control over his thing. Except it's kind of conflicting because he said on the podcast one time that he hasn't heard anything from Spotify, and what they were trying to do is censor him from having certain guests on the show, like Alex Jones and stuff like that.
Interesting.
And is it working?
Yeah, I hear you.
No, are they censoring them?
Oh, is it working? No, it's Joe Rogan. He has that money where it's like I don't have to care really what you say anymore, even though I signed this contract to do business with you. You can terminate it, and I can go back to doing my own thing.
I don't think that's true.
He's got lawyers. I think he could do something.
No way, dude.
Dude, he must have. You know that Spotify probably locked him in pretty tight, but I assume he had his legal team reviewing that,
bro,
and making sure it was good for him too.
400. How much was it? 400 million, right?
I'm not sure. Let's look.
Bro, you don't think that they had that thing sealed tight?
Well, think about it though. Even if
zero leakage, bro. 400 million.
But if he terminates contract though, what does Joe Rogan lose? Like, what does he lose? He's already got the money. He already.
So I'm reading,
bro. They'll take him to court. Breach of contract.
Signing $100 million deal. It was around $100 million.
Okay, sorry, 100 million, which is still unbelievable amount of money.
Yeah, but
unless you get taxed 60 something percent,
60 some odd percent,
then it's still stupid. Never gonna make $40 million in my life. It's ridiculous.
But I mean, obviously, I'm just saying, Joe Rogan's not a dummy. I'm pretty sure he had some clauses in there for himself. Like, Spotify is trying to lock up the podcast game, and they're trying to sign all the best, I don't know, podcasters, right? So they're trying to lock up exclusive deals with the best podcasters. So they're out there, writing these huge deals. But at the same time, they need him. Like, they do, So he has leverage as well. To Pedro's point, the man doesn't even need a platform anymore, to be honest. He could just host everything on his website and he would get his views,
Right, but if they did come after him, if he did do that, if he said, okay, I don't need this, they would come after him and they would win because of the breach of contract.
Right. I'm sure he has like a cancellation clause in there, like if I leave, I'll, I get some percentage of the deal or something, I'm just saying, if it was me, I would do it like that. And I'm not like, Joe Rogan's crazy businessman, I'm sure. He's no dummy. He's like the athlete. Spotify's like the NBA.
Dude, I can't believe that. Yeah, exactly. Those dudes are not smart. A lot of them lose all their money fast.
Okay, well,
they're not super savvy businessmen.
Now it's changing, though. The athletes are becoming much more savvy. They're becoming a lot smarter with the way they handle their finances. They're cutting good deals.
I think it's
the NBA. I honestly think that the NBA needs the players now more than the players need the NBA, because you can get the viewers in so many different ways now. You could go YouTube Live. You can go any different way to broadcast a sport, and the athletes are the ones who have the leverage. Like, they could create their own league if they wanted to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think I don't know if they're necessarily getting smarter, but there's just way more opportunities for them to make money. And I think all those opportunities are getting thrown at them on the daily. Everybody is basically saying, like, come with us. And all these different, like, social media, everything's crazy now. Like, if you're famous, you don't even have to be famous. You could just become famous on, like, social media or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so these guys who were, let's say, in the 80s, were making, whatever. That was their thing. Like that's all they were going to be good at. Like, boom, I'll take it. But if they're good at basketball or whatever sport they're in, like, it's just so much easier for them to become more rich. So they're not. I'm gonna say that they're not smarter. It's just easier.
I think it's easier and they're smarter. I think it's both.
All right.
But hey, time is up. We the timer went off as Zach was talking. Pedro, you still there? I think we might have lost Pedro. But the time is expired. I hear nothing from Pedro. So what we're going to go ahead and do is hopefully we'll get Pedro back here in a second so we could wrap it up. But you know what? It's me. It's not him. It is, I think my hotspot went out. So thank you guys for listening. Let us know what you think in the comments about athletes, about coronavirus. What's happening? Because I don't see him.
Dude, Pedro's just yapping away, dude.
Oh man, this is gonna be funny because I'm talking, he's talking.
Yeah, he's like on one right now. He's making a full on, like, it looks like some kind of patriotic speech, and he just figured out that we can't hear him right now.
Oh man, that's awesome. Some of the man, you guys don't even know the challenges that we've been dealing with technology lately.
British Trump.
Curtis Trump. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you for listening. Make sure to comment and subscribe.